the stuff that was in here is going to be in the ballroom, and at the end of the day, things will end up in the ballroom instead of in here. All right, and then also we it kind of eliminated dinner this evening, and so that we could bump things up a little bit. So Peter Dale Scott will be going where we had lunch hour, and then we're going to come on with Bob Bowman about 6 instead of at 7. All right, and he's only here today, and you definitely don't want to miss Bob, right? Anyway, that's most of the changes. Anyway, if you want more updates, just check in at the registration area, okay? Give you back to Luke. Luke is going to cut his down to just
an hour.
An hour? Oh, no. Luke, come on, baby. 4 minutes, right, Luke?
40? Sorry for sleeping, Tommy. It's too early, man. How you guys doing? Good. Thank you so much for coming out here and not the legal panel, which believes in the system. Thank you so much for coming out here. It really means a lot. Let me start off with an analogy to compare where I see this movement. Say you have a big, old, nasty spider in your house. Big, old, nasty spider, creating cotton webs all over the place, biting your friends, eating your food, taking your money. Big, old, annoying spider. No, let me just explain it. Say you have this big spider and you have this big problem. How are you going to deal with the problem? Are you going to clean the cotton webs, or are you going to kill the spider? Are you going to go after the source of the problem, or are you going to go after the symptoms? And that's where I see the 9/11 Truth movement. We keep going after the puppets, the Cheneys, the Bushes. I mean, I don't think Pinky and the Brain could really pull something off like 9/11. I mean, I really can't. I'm sorry. And then looking at Oklahoma, looking at 93, this has to be beyond the Bush administration. This has to be beyond the puppets, beyond a man who almost died from eating a pretzel. It has to be beyond that. I'm sorry. It just has to be. And we have to go to the source of the problem. We have to kill that spider. We have to take back America. And although it may be hard to kill that spider, although that spider may be scary, although that spider may be big, we have to deal with it to get rid of the problem. Unless we deal with it, we're still going to be stuck with the damn spider in the house. Now, no applause. No, you can. I hate applause. Now, if you want to follow the money, you have to understand who controls the banks. And, of course, this leads to the CFR, the Bilderberg, the Trilateral Group, the RFIA, the World Bank, the Federal Reserve, the World Trade Organization. These people are really responsible for what's really going on. Let me just share a quote for you from Mayer Rothschild. And he said, "Give me the power of the money, and it will not matter anymore who is commanding." That's Mayer Rothschild. He said that. And I think one aspect that we're missing in the whole war on terror is the aspect dealing with the Federal Reserve. See, before we invaded Afghanistan and Iraq, those two countries did not have the Central Federal Reserve Bank. When we invaded them, we established Central Federal Reserve banks in those two countries. What's also very interesting, the other countries that don't have Central Federal Reserve banks, guess who they are? The axes of evils. Iran, Syria, North Korea, Cuba, and Venezuela. What does that tell you about the war on terror? Is it about oil? It could be. Maybe it's more part of it. But really, it's more about the banking systems. It's really understanding, forget about who Halliburton and all these corporations. Talk about who's making the money, Another interesting thing that a lot of people don't really talk about is the M3, is the money supply. It's the list it's the Federal Reserve basic audit that they release every year telling how much money they printed out. They didn't print it out the last time, which means they either printed out too much or too little. Either way, me and you are screwed because it could be deflation or inflation. And of course, 9/11 is used and is destroying America. We have to make a clear, difference between when we say America did 9/11. The American people did not do 9/11. The American government with the corporations, they did 9/11. A lot of people say, America is losing in Iraq. The American people are losing in Iraq. The American corporations are winning. And people have to make that clear definition, clear difference between the two. The M3 was not released this year. That means anything drastic could happen at any moment. And of course, this leads to the North American Union, the Pan-American Union, which the New World Order guys have been dreaming about for the past century. They want a new world order, and the way they're going to do it is they're going to be joining different sections of different continents. They already did the EU. Then now they're doing the North American Union with the United States, Canada, and Mexico. There's also CFR policy papers calling about unifying Africa, unifying the Middle East, unifying Asia. And that's what they're going to do. They're going to unify these little areas, and they're going to put it together into one world order. And we have to understand that. There has already been established working groups in the United States working towards the North American Union, paying with your tax dollars. There's highways already being built right now at the Texas Trans Corridor, being paid by your tax dollars, building the NAFTA highways leading from Mexico to Canada, bringing in the Chinese slave goods. Your tax dollars are paying for this, and nobody's talking about this. The media has completely blanked out about this. Doesn't talk about nothing about this. And to me, the real criminals behind 9/11 are the internationalists, or the globalists, are the people who set up these Federal Reserve banks, are the people who print the money, are the people who want the New World Order. And those are the ones responsible, because the American people are losing. America is losing. Our Constitution is being destroyed, and it's a plan. And it's working great for them. And it's not working for any of us. Let me read you a quote by David Rockefeller. He said this before 9/11. "We are on the verge of global transformation, and all we need is the right major crisis, and the nations will accept the new world order." David Rockefeller. Let me read you another David Rockefeller quote. It's pretty long, so I may mess it up. For more than a century, ideological extremists at either end of the political spectrum have seized upon well-publicized incidents to attack the Rockefeller family for the inordinate influence they claim we wield over American political and economic institutions. Some even believe we were part of a secret cabal working against the best interest of the United States, characterizing my family and me as internationalists, and of conspiring with others around the world to build a more integrated global political and economic structure, one world, if you will. If that is the charge, I stand guilty, and I am proud of it. David Rockefeller Memoirs. If that doesn't piss you off, I don't know what does. And David Rockefeller, he's the one leading in charge of the CFR, the Trilateral Group, the Bilderberg Group, along with his buddy Rothschilds. And those are people we have to concentrate on. That's the spider. The cottonwebs, that's President Bush. That's Dick Cheney. That's the puppets. We have to take both of them down. Don't get me wrong. Some people tell me, you're crazy just by going after these guys. No, we have to take all of this down. If you really want to save this country, if you want to save the Constitution, if you want to save the lives of your kids and your children, you have to take down the spider. All right. Now, I would just tell everybody here to be wary of anybody who believes in a new world order, a one world government, a one federation, a one world religion, because there are people here in the 9/11 Truth Movement that do believe in a new world order. I'm not gonna name names. I'm not gonna stoop low as calling people infiltrators, but I'm gonna say be wary of these people and question these people. I won't name names. Now again, it won't be easy going after these big guys. It's gonna be easy, Bush bashing. Bush bashing is extremely easy, but we have to do this. Let's kill that spider. Let's squash that goddamn spider and take this country back and reestablish the Constitution. Another thing we really have to understand is that resistance is not futile. The elite, the bankers, they're people. They're like me and you, right? They're people. They're in charge of the police and military. And without the police and without the military, they're nothing. They're nobody. They're average citizens. And this is something me and Tommy have been doing, I think everybody should be doing, and that's talking to the cops, talking to military personnel about how this country is being destroyed and how this country is going to be in one world order soon if we don't take this back. And that's what me and Tommy have been doing in New York City, talking to officers, not only about 9/11, but about everything, about the Federal Reserve and how they will soon have to, make a stand. And they will soon have to make a decision to follow orders or to do the right thing. Me and Tommy want to make sure they do the right thing. And I hope you guys join us in doing that. All right. And again, resistance is not futile. They're regular people. You take away the police, we educate the police, we educate the military, they're nobodies. They're nothing. They have no power. And so again, it's not left, it's not right. It's the top versus the bottom, and we're the bottom. The top's the spider. Let's take it down. Let me leave you with a quote. I think JFK said this. I'm probably saying this wrong, or whatever. Regular men do things because they are easy. Great men do things not because they are easy, but because they are hard. Let's take down the spider and take back America.
Good morning. My name is Walter Burian, and I've